Hey everybody, it's Josh coming to you with some thoughts for today. Today I want to talk about fear. And fear of just everything. How we're all so afraid. Guess what? Bitcoin's up $3,000 today. Yep. So all of you that sold, or the people who sold in the last couple days because the news cycle came out and said, oh, Bitcoin, the government could come out and ban this. This is a real threat to our monetary system. Guess what? The rich people bought after you sold and they made more money. You now have less wealth and they have more wealth. So, something to think about. But it's not just financial. We're afraid of everything. My two boys, every day when I pick them up from school, I ask them, how'd your day go? What happened at recess? They play something called Gaga Ball. I don't know what the hell that is, but apparently you stand in a pit and hit a ball at each other. And they always talk about how afraid they are that they're going to get in trouble, or Gaga Ball got banned because some kid misbehaved and everybody went and told the teacher, or someone might have called a kid a bad name. These boys are 10 or 11 years old, and they are so afraid of getting in trouble at school. I mean, they're just about in middle school. I mean, within the next year or two, me and my friends were all cussing and telling dirty jokes and, being boys. But my kids are so afraid, maybe yours are too, I don't know, of getting in trouble. And I always tell them, what's the worst that can happen? What's that school gonna do to you? What are they gonna do, spank you and take away your birthday? No. And I feel like that's how we are as adults. We're all so afraid for no reason. What are you afraid of? There's no reason to be afraid. For one, if you have any faith in anything, you shouldn't be afraid. For two, I just don't think that fear is productive at all. At all. I talked about this in a video back, and not being afraid and just going out and taking that risk. Because what's the worst that can happen? You only live once. My boys are only going to be in school one time. You're only going to live today once. So what are you afraid of? What are you afraid of? Why are people so afraid to take chances, to do things they really want to do? How free are you if you constantly live in fear? If you constantly live in a state of fear of, okay, for instance, I was just driving and I saw somebody in their car by themselves wearing a mask. In their vehicle, alone. Okay? Wearing a mask. We are the people in this country that, like, won World War I, won World War II, built skyscrapers, explored a new continent. Those are the people we come from, and we find ourselves wearing masks in our own vehicle by ourselves. It's almost like everybody is afraid. North Korea's launching missiles, immigrants coming over the border, a virus. It's constant fear. You know why? Because you know who's easy to control? Somebody who's afraid. Somebody who's afraid can be controlled. That's why. That's why you're all so afraid. That's why everything in the news is put out there to make you afraid so they can control you. Because whether we all like to admit it to ourselves or not, we're all controlled. We're all being controlled by our own. It's our own fear that controls us every single day. Every day. I guarantee you there is something that you're afraid of. And it's that thing that you're afraid of that keeps you from stepping out, taking that chance, and doing what could change your whole life. Think about it. What are you afraid of? I want you to stop and think, what is it that I'm afraid of doing, or the risk that I'm afraid of taking, that is keeping me from being where I want to be in life? Because I promise you, you're only going to live once. You don't get no redos, no second chances. So you might as well go out, take that chance, not be afraid. And I know it sounds easy from some guy just driving around in his truck telling you not to be afraid, because it happens to me too. But maybe we should all just stop and think. Am I making my financial decisions based on fear? Am I making my life choices, what I do with my career, what I do with my finances, what I'm doing with my family, the way we live, is it based on fear or is it based on power? Because in all honesty, we all have the power to do whatever we want. The only person that controls you is you. So, I don't know, just my thoughts for today. I was just with my kids the other day and I just got to thinking, I hate the fact that they are so afraid. I hate it. It pisses me off every time. Oh, what if they tell the teacher? I don't give a shit if they tell the teacher. If they tell the teacher and you get in trouble and it's something stupid, I will come pick you up from school and take you out for ice cream. If some kid pushes you and you knock that kid's head off and then you get in trouble, I'm picking my kid up, I'm taking him out for ice cream, and we're going home and playing video games. That's it. Because I don't want my kids to be afraid to stand up for themselves. I don't want my kids to be afraid to take chances. I don't want them to be afraid of life. That is no way to live life, is to be afraid. And it just breaks my freaking heart every single time they tell me some kid said something to them, and instead of them standing up for themselves, they're afraid. They're afraid they'll get in trouble. And it just makes me think every time they say it as an adult, yeah, you know, it might be on a little different scale, but guess what? As an adult, I'm afraid too. I'm afraid of certain things, certain worries, certain things that I'm afraid will happen or won't happen based on what I do. And then I think, I don't want that for them. I want them to grow up and think, screw that. Why do I have to listen to you? Like, why do I have to listen to anyone who thinks they have authority? You don't. Those people in government, they work for you. Those teachers at my kids' school, they work for me. I pay those taxes. I pay their salary. They work for me. I tried to explain that to my kids. I said, listen, your teacher, she works for me. I pay her salary. Not all of it, but a part of it. Okay? I said, so really, your daddy is their boss. So, if they have a problem with something you did to stand up for yourself, I don't care. I'll take it up at a school board meeting, or I'll do something, and I'll cause a fit. Because the deal is, there's no reason for your kids or you to live in fear. You all just live in fear because you're told to live in fear. The politicians work for you, the teachers work for you, the cops work for you. They're all paid by your taxes. Now, those cops will kidnap and extort you and, you know, but they get their power from you. You are their boss. If we all understood that, hey, wait a minute, these people that are controlling my life, that are telling me what to do, work for me. I am their boss. You are their boss. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. There's no reason to be afraid of these people. It makes me sad. It makes me sad that people are so worried. They're so afraid that, oh, well, what if I walk into a store and they say, are you going to put a mask on? Now, if you're immune compromised, if you're elderly, whatever, if you're legitimately concerned, do what you have to do. But do it because it's your decision. Don't do it out of fear. Don't do anything in your life out of fear. Don't make your financial decisions, don't make personal decisions out of fear. Fear will not help you. Fear is nothing more than what's drilled into you from the time you're a kid in school with my boys, with me. You're taught to be afraid of people who have no real power over you. None. They don't have any power over you. Those teachers don't have any power over my kids. If I wanted to, I would jerk their little butts out of school and I would tell that school where to put it. And I've told my kids this. When you grow up, that won't matter. It won't. No one's going to care. No one's going to care if you got in-school suspension one day because some kid was pushing you around and you hit him right in the face. No one's going to care when you're an adult. You're not going to apply at a job and they're going to say, well, I see here that looks like you hit a kid in 4th or 5th grade. Yeah, I did. No one's going to care. Don't be afraid. Live your life. Don't let people stop you from doing what you want to do. I don't know. It's just been kind of on my mind today, and it's just bothering me. It bothers me every time I see somebody. It bothers me especially when I see it in my kids. And I just want us all to stop today, think about what are we afraid of, and is it even worth being afraid of? Does it even really have any power over me? Because guess what? It probably doesn't in the long run. I mean, what's the worst that could happen? They spank you and take away your birthday? No. I mean, you're an adult. There's nothing that makes them different from you. Nothing. That CEO, that president, that senator, guess what? They do the exact same things on a day-to-day basis that you do. They're no different than you. The only thing different is that they have a title that for some reason we all respect and we let them have authority over us. It just seems ridiculous to me. I don't get it. I don't get why we're all so afraid of people who really, most of them don't even deserve the respect we give them. And we're terrified. I don't get it. I don't get it. So, I mean, like I said, I have things that I'm afraid of that I'm going to start working on. And I think we all should just stop and realize the people that have authority over us, they have no real authority except for the authority we've given them. So that's it for today. Hit that like button, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. We'll talk to you later. Bye.